Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Call HALALYAM La, YAHAWAH,
BAHASHAM,
BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honor to the elders and apostles, a great millstone to teach and move well. Peace and salutations be to the elect. I'm Brother Tazwam Kabar, and with me I have
The brother you call.
we're coming at you from the Prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. All right, this is going to be going into to whom much is given, much is required. But we're going to grab it in the NLT and edify on that with precepts. So we're going to get started right here in the NLT in the book of Luke chapter 12. And we'll start at verse 40. We'll start at verse 39. It says, "Understand this. If a homeowner knew exactly when a burglar was coming, he would not permit his house to be broken into. You also must be ready all the time, for the Son of Man will come when least expected." Peter asked, "Lord, is that illustration just for us or for everyone?" And the Lord replied, "A faithful, sensible servant is one to whom the master can give the responsibility of managing his other household servants and feeding them." So the Lord said a faithful and sensible servant is who He's going to give that responsibility to, managing his other household and feeding them, man, his servants and feeding them, pretty much feeding the sheep. What the Lord told Peter, He said, "If you love me, feed my sheep." So now that we have this truth and this understanding and this doctrine, the names of the Lord, it means the Lord has considered us faithful and sensible as servants, and He's given us that responsibility to feed His sheep, man. Okay, not everybody gets that chance and that opportunity. It says, "If the master returns and finds that the servant has done a good job, there will be a reward. I tell you the truth, the master will put that servant in charge of all he owns. But what if the servant thinks, 'My master won't be back for a while,' and he begins beating the other servants, partying and getting drunk? The master will return unannounced and unexpected, and he will cut the servant in pieces and banish him with the unfaithful." So you're going to be, the KJV says, they're going to be appointed their portion with the unbelievers. Okay, so if you begin to think, "Oh, the Lord ain't coming no time soon," and you began to do the things you were doing before you came into this truth, guess what? The Lord going to sever you from this truth, going to point your person with the unbelievers, and you're going to die with them, man. Okay, that's why we know that we hold a very precious thing. Okay, the thing in our hands is very precious because it can grind us into dust if we mishandle it, man. It says, "And a servant who knows what the master wants," who's the master? YAHAWASHI. So we know what YAHAWASHI wants, man. We know what Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI wants. Okay, because YAHAWASHI is just doing the will of the Father who sent him. Okay, so it all trickles on down to us, man. We know what the master wants. That means we gotta apply it. You only got so much time here on earth, man. And then you gotta return and give answer to what you accomplished in the earth, man. It says, "And a servant who knows what the master wants but isn't prepared and doesn't carry out those instructions will be severely punished. But someone who does not know and then does something wrong will be punished only lightly." So they're gonna still get punished, like the people of this world that don't really know. Okay, and they going off and committing iniquity and sin. Okay, they don't know, but they're still gonna be punished for it. Yeah. Lightly, but still punished.
Yeah, we gonna get punished when you fall out the truth, or you give up on the ministry, which is the same thing, really. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be punished more severely than the average Babylonian out here.
That's right.
And they may be a murderer, an adulterer, which those are all sins worthy of great judgment. But if you give up on Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, the Lord sees you worse than them. Mm-hmm. Because you was opened up to the mysteries and
secrets. Hey, the scriptures say, pretty much going into like a betraying friend, he gonna discover that reproach.
Yeah.
Pretty much unveil your secrets and put you to shame, man. That's what these niggas do when they fall out the truth. Yeah. It's like the Lord told them secret, and they go telling everybody, and and shitting on the secret, man. Putting it to shame, man.
Right.
You know?
Because, yeah, you go tell everybody about this wonderful work. And then, you know, you fall out the truth and you go back to your old vomit. Right. Now they all seeing you with that old vomit. Now they looking like, hold on, you know, I thought you believed in YAHAWASHI. YAHAWASHI approves of you doing this and that, you know?
Damn.
So you putting YAHAWASHI to an open shame. You know what I'm saying? Especially because we at war right now through the spirit. And the Lord opened us up on all the tactics and his plans and ploys. And then you just cast it away as dung, you know? So that's why the judgment will be worse.
Yeah, so knowing now you come into this walk, you come into this truth, you have a responsibility on your hands, a great big, you know, it's like you're holding a great big vase, and it's beautiful, okay? And it's very, very expensive. You know, the amount is immeasurable, okay? And if you drop this, you're fucked.
Right.
The Lord said, hold fast that which thou hast. You got to hold on to it tight, man. Okay, because if you lose it, you ain't getting another one, man.
Yep.
It says, when someone has been given much, much will be required. So like it says, when someone has been given much, much will be required in return. And when someone has been entrusted with much, even more will be required.
Yeah, we've been entrusted with a lot. Right, the Lord entrusted us with his knowledge, his wisdom. It's not ours, it's his. You know, his spirit. So the Lord expects a return. You know, scripture says, ye are bought with the price.
Right.
All right. The price was YAHAWASHI's blood, and we're in debt. So when we wake up, you know, when we was born into this earth, we were born in debt. So now we come to this truth, we paying off that debt, which we can never truly pay it off. But you know, the point of it is, you know, we just hope we, you know, pay enough off, and the Lord have mercy on us.
Right.
You know, you got like a landlord or something. You just, you know, hey, I don't got everything, but look, man, I'm like,
I got most of it.
I'm like $20 short, man. You know, please.
He gonna know you. He gonna know you tried.
He gonna know you tried, and you know, he may just have mercy upon you. The same thing with the Lord, man. You know, the Lord gonna see who trying and who not trying, or who bullshitting. And the Lord gonna point to your portion with the unbelievers if that so happen to be your case, which we pray that's none of our case.
Right.
That's why it's a thing of humility, you know, and fear. That was it.
The book of John, chapter 21 and verse 17. He saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua saith unto him, feed my sheep. So the Lord asked him if he loved him 3 times, and told him 3 times, feed my sheep. And the number 3 goes into understanding, man. Okay, he was trying to get Peter to understand something.
The seriousness.
The seriosity
of that, you know, feeding sheep. That's why we can't, you know, we gotta, you know, continue to pump out these lessons, and not just, you know, on camera, but also, you know, off the camera too. You know,
that's right.
Fellowshipping with brothers, being there for brothers, because the Lord said, "Feed my sheep," man. That was a very heavy conversation that he had, bro. You guys that stop doing your videos, you stop going out, you stop teaching, the Lord gonna require that from among you, man, because you got to think about how many brothers and sisters, you know, probably will subscribe to your channels that look to you for exhortation or edification, and you just gave up on the sheep, man. You know, the Lord said, hey, you offend these little, because a brother can be offended by that. You know, you quit. The Lord said, if you offend one of these little ones, he gonna require that from you, man. It is better if a millstone were hung about your neck and you were drowned in the sea. And
you have no idea how many little ones are eating from you, right. Eating from your table, man.
You probably got like 50 subscribers. That's a lot of souls.
Hey, well, we uploaded a lesson the other day, and somebody said tuning in from Germany, man. Okay, so you may think, oh, somebody up the street watching, or somebody in New York watching, somebody in this state watching. No, you got people watching from other countries, from across the world, man. Okay, so it ain't no light thing. The Lord put the unicorn. That's how you know the unicorn. Speaking of the internet, because it's a great thing that You know, the prophets of old, they used to travel. They used to have to travel on foot from city to city, and it was long distances and adventures. Paul had to suffer shipwreck because he had to travel on a ship to go and preach to people to the Israelites in another city, man. But we can do it right here from home.
Yeah.
You know, sitting down in the chair, you just open. All you gotta do is turn your phone on, hit the record button, and guess what? It reaches out throughout the whole world, man.
Upload to the World Wide Web.
World Wide Web, that's right, man. So you got no excuse.
Yep.
Jake will have an excuse. Oh man, it's too far. My leg hurting. I'm sick with this. I'm sick with that. Okay, but you got Jakes in this truth that are sick with the worst diseases, plagued with the worst diseases, and still doing the work of the Lord, man. Yep. And you niggas that are able-bodied ain't doing nothing. Okay, the Lord got something for your ass, man.
He's gonna require that from you.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 1 in the NLT. And now a word to you who are elders in the churches. All right, and you will be considered an elder if there is somebody that came in the truth after you. Okay, and then it goes beyond that. There are also elders that, have been in this thing for, 30 years, 40 years plus. Okay, those are like the elders, man. All right, but elder just means older. Okay, so you will be considered an older brother over those that are younger than you. That means you got somebody that you have to look out for. Okay, somebody that you got to give account for. It says, I too am an elder and a witness to the sufferings of Hamashiach. And I too will share in his glory when he is revealed to the whole world.
Damn.
As a fellow elder, I appeal to you. Now this is the NLT.
Elder, he got, he was with YAHAWASHI. Mm-hmm. That's Peter, right? That's Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Peter. That's the head of the church.
Mm-hmm.
So in these different congregations, you have different heads of the church.
Yeah.
You have the second in command, third, fourth, fifth, so on and so forth. But he's writing this unto you as a older brother,
as a head of the church.
As the head of a church. So you gonna have brothers in different positions within these congregations. All right, and we you have a heavy responsibility. Mm-hmm. Like we brought out earlier, who much is given, much is required. That's why you really you don't come into this thing seeking a rank or position. You just come into this thing and you deal with what the Lord gave you. Mm-hmm. Don't come into this thing with pride and try to be this guy and the top guy, because you don't know what comes with that position.
Right.
You're gonna be the Lord gonna hold you to a different standard.
Mm-hmm.
And
we all are made leaders on a lower level, man.
Right.
So the Lord is entrusting us with many things, and this is to try us to see if we can be judges for the world to come. It says, and I too will share in his glory when he is revealed to the whole world. Mm-hmm. As a fellow elder, I appeal to you. Care for the flock that YAHAWASHI has entrusted to you. Watch over it willingly, not grudgingly, not for what you will get out of it, but because you are eager to serve YAHAWASHI.
Right, so we got to watch over the flock. The brothers that come in after us, all right? We got to watch out for one another.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord required that, man. That was crazy. But the Lord required that, man. We gotta look out for the brothers that come after us. All right, because those are the Lord's sheep. You don't know who that brother may be.
Mm-hmm.
You treat them like shit. All right, the Lord gonna require that.
Yeah, and
because you got a responsibility. You got a job. You don't do the job properly, you get fired, and somebody else get the job.
Yep.
All right.
And this ain't one of those jobs where you can just sit there and
reapply.
Right. You can't reapply. You only get one shot at this one, man.
Well, you ain't apply for it anyway.
Right.
I gave it to you.
Exactly. And he entrusted you with it. He chose you, and the Lord created you. So the fact that you have this truth, that means the Lord knew what he was doing. When he created you. He created you for this purpose. All right. It says, care for the flock that YAHAWASHI has entrusted to you. Watch over it willingly, not grudgingly, not for what you will get out of it, but because you are eager to serve YAHAWASHI. So do it out of love, man, because you have a passion to serve the Lord, YAHAWASHI. You shouldn't feel like, oh man, I gotta go talk to this brother. I gotta go help this brother do this. At least I'm gonna get something out of it. Not like that, man, but because you want to see him win. Even these niggas in the world got slogans. I want to see you win, King. I want to see you win. I'm trying to see you win this year. I ain't even here. So us being men in the Lord, men of the truth, what makes us any different, man? You got to prove yourself to be different. You got to prove yourself to be better. Okay, because we are made, what Scripture says, set forth us the apostles last, as it were appointed to death. Okay, we're being watched by men, by all the angels. Okay, these things are going to be showcased in the kingdom. Okay, it's going to be displayed. This is the type of man that you should have been like. When we look at the prophets of old, we read in these old books, we are ascribing to see how they were for the Lord, so that we can fashion ourselves around how they were. You know, Lord willing, we be those men and be the same way in the kingdom, man. Governing bodies. What's a governing body? Someone that's governing a great amount of people. Okay, and that's that person you are inspired by.
Yeah, that's why he said, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast
faithful over a few things.
Thou will make thee Lord over many things. Yeah. So it gotta start somewhere. The Lord, He building you up to be a governor. It gotta start somewhere. It starts with really yourself. You gotta learn to govern yourself first. I got a precept. My phone just died. I got a precept though.
Oh, what you got? I can grab it.
1 Timothy 3 and 5. Because we gotta govern ourselves, man. Speaking to myself first and foremost. And this is the thing I personally could do better. But but before we can govern the world, we have to first govern ourselves. 1 Timothy 3 and 5, it says, For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of YAHAWASHI? So, as a man, we have to rule our own house first. Govern our own house, which your house is your body. It begins with your body, then your physical home, and then you learn to rule the church of YAHAWASHI.
That's right.
The brothers that come after you, because hey, how the hell can you govern a brother that come after you? You can't govern your damn self. That's foolish. That's what makes a king a king. A king, when a king is brought up, he's brought up in discipline. He has different instructors to teach him how to rule over himself. Wow. He doesn't just become the king, He's forced into the king. You got to be forced into a king, forced into a governor. And that's what the Lord is doing with us. It begins with ourselves. And then he put us in charge of his church in our rightful positions, whatever your position may be. And every brother has a position. Even if you're the last brother, you're still a governor of a church. Because you may not be necessarily in the utmost leadership position in the body, but you're still a part of that body. You're still observing, and you still have to learn how to govern certain things and situations. So we are being forced into those governors, but much is given unto us, and much is going to be required out of us. Right. All right, back on this.
And back to 1 Peter 5. In chapter 3, it says, Don't lord it over the people assigned to your care, but lead them by your own good example. And when the great shepherd appears, you will receive a crown of never-ending glory and honor.
Right. Don't be a tyrant. To brothers. You gotta lead through example. Through faith. Humility. Mercy. You know what I'm saying? But also, you have to be stern sometimes. It's a balance. It ain't a thing of, you just being goddamn, a soft-spoken lamb. Sometimes, brothers need to be rebuked harshly. That's a balance. It's a balance. But understanding mercy too, as somebody over a brother. So that's a part of it. But it says, don't lord. So we can't. We ain't lording over brothers. We're just we're guides. We're guides. The Lord said, brothers, up to guide you into the kingdom.
Yeah. And knowing that, there's a certain way you gotta handle what the Lord has entrusted you with, man. Right. You can't just do it on your own way. You gotta do it the way Yahawashi did it. Following the greatest example. Okay, we gotta come up after the curriculum. Okay, there's no other way around it. Scripture say, they either try to come up some other way. Hey, woe to them.
Thief and a robber.
Thief and a robber. All right, you ain't gonna make it, man. All right, and then you're gonna be found out to be a thief and a robber by the whole world and all the angels, because being made a spectacle, man. The world is a stage, and we being showcased. Okay, but with that, man, you got anything else? And we truly hope this lesson was edifying to you. I cannot go out to listen to truth and sincerity. Until next time, we give all glory, honor, praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH.